too much of the church, at least in my area, has become an intellectual and academic exercise, but we never really talk about what is at the core and the heart of a man who has to get up every day and grind and work and still maintain his faith amongst a wicked and perverse generation. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? So I wanted to make this video here quick to give you an update and share some ideas that have come across my path in the last month or so, specifically I guess, and kind of get your opinion on an idea that's been floated out there from really several concerned people. So as you can see, I'm in the truck. A few months ago I made a video about trucking, and this is kind of like my home during the day, and so this is the best time for me to make this because I got all kinds of time on my hands, and right now the roads are super smooth and cruising, so this is a good time. The general gist is this: there are those out there who think I should start my own channel, essentially doing a type of church or something. Now here's the interesting thing, is that this is not something that I have not thought about. There's the double negative. So I have thought about this. I've thought about starting a faith-based channel in the past, but I haven't done it because, quite honestly, there are only so many hours in the day. Between working and doing the videos for the Sawmill channel and everything else, raising a family, the time has just not been there. But here's the interesting thing: I find myself now 8 to 10 hours a day just sitting in a truck driving, and most of it is very non-stress driving. I'm on nice open highways during the day. It's wonderful. And so I may have the opportunity to make videos in this kind of a format as a normal working man, just paying the bills, trying to provide for his family, but at the same time still maintaining a strong set of core Christian values. And I feel competent to do this, not to sound proud about that, but many of you may or may not know that the whole reason I ended up in southern Indiana was because I was pursuing a degree in biblical and theological studies from the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky. And so I'm educated in the material. You might even say that I'm over-educated for the material in some ways. In some ways I'm still very much a baby in my learning, but after so much reading and studying and writing on biblical theology, I think there could be a lot to share here. And not just headspace, not just big-headed intellectualistic type of thought, but a worldview that premises itself around the idea that common working men can live strong, core value, faith-based lives in the normal workplace. And talk about the life of a believer in such context, because in my opinion, too much of the church, at least in my area, has become an intellectual and academic exercise, but we never really talk about what is at the core and the heart of a man who has to get up every day and grind and work and still maintain his faith amongst a wicked and perverse generation. And so that's all I've been my whole life. I started working when I was 13 years old. I am 41 now, believe it or not. Don't feel that old out in my heart, but that's what the calendar says I am. And all I've done is work most of my life, blue-collar jobs. And I feel like there's been a giant gap, perhaps, in in that particular area for Christians. And I know I said men a lot. Of course, working women, I think it would be valuable as well, because for believers, all believers. So anyhow, those are my thoughts. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to start doing this. I feel like one of the challenges is to be consistent if I do start doing something like this, and I'm not sure that I can be consistent with it entirely. Another challenge, or perhaps fear, if you want to put it that way, is just the culture nowadays is just toxic. I mean, it's like you put anything out there that is has a Christian worldview, and there's a certain group of people out there that consider that to be hateful and something that should be punished and canceled. And I just don't think that that I would want to deal with all of that. Granted, you'd have to get a lot of subscribers and probably gain a lot of influence to even be noticed, which this probably would not. But those are some concerns, I guess. But I'm interested in your thoughts. I'm interested to see what you all would think about that. If I made a channel, and I've been throwing some names around for it, I'm not going to tell you the names just in case somehow it got stolen. I don't think I can come up with a better name. But what do you think? What do you think about not just the Sawmill stuff, but putting together a strong faith-based channel? What would I do? I would talk about scripture. I would talk about the day-to-day grind. I would probably meander a little bit into some of the more social type of things that are going on. I'm not an overtly political person, but I do think there is a truth and a falsehood that needs to be addressed in this world. And so there's some thoughts for you, and just want to know what you all think about that. So put your comments down below. All the contact information for my email is through the that was a good bump. Is through the About tab if you go to my YouTube main page. So yeah, what do you think about that? Good idea? Bad idea? Horrible? Wonderful? Questions, comments, frustrations, anxieties? Let me know. And as always, God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Keep the rubber side down.